Mental health is for you, all the time. We should pay attention to it when we're thriving, as well as during the harder times. Mental health isn't just about problems, it's also about solutions. Healing isn't linear. There's always something you can do. Control what you can, confront what you can't. Right now, just breathe.
So the hippos in Colombia are becoming quite a big problem, and it's all because of Pablo Escobar. With all his insane money that he got from selling drugs, he was able to build his own zoo, which had giraffes, elephants, and even hippos, 4 of them. So when the government finally caught up to Pablo, they took all his animals, except his hippos, who they just left in this lake. These hippos loved Colombia so much, they started to kiss, hold hands, and make other little hippos, expanding their mass territory. They started to wander towns, eating crops, even crushing cows. Hippos are one of the most dangerous animals in the world. And in Africa, they know how to handle these animals. But since they're new to Colombia, Colombians are having a little bit of a problem with them. The government in Colombia wants to kill them all, but the people in Colombia kind of love them and don't want them to kill them. Neither do I.
What I'm about to show you isn't an alien, but it This little guy is called a diatom, and they are one of the most alien-like creatures on planet Earth. You can see through its skin because, believe it or not, it's made of glass, more specifically silica. And these little dudes eat sunlight and poop oxygen. Diatom produce 20 to 30% of the world's oxygen. That's more than the Amazon rainforest. Thank a diatom. They can be found in oceans, rivers, lakes, waterways, pretty much everywhere, including soil. Sometimes diatoms get trapped in the soil and all the water dries up, but believe it or not, these things can survive without water for 150 years. Long story short, diatoms are microscopic miracles, and if you'd like more science content, I'd really appreciate a follow.
Here's how to remove those stubborn stickers. The first thing you should try is rubbing alcohol. Apply some on a paper towel, and apply that to the surface for a few minutes. And with a little elbow grease, comes right off. Can't even tell the sticker was there. And for really stuck on stickers, here's how to make your own Goo Gone. You'll need some vegetable oil or coconut oil, baking soda, and a few drops of a citrus essential oil. Give that a good mix and your Goo Gone paste is good to go. Use a rag to apply the paste all over the sticker, and let that sit for a few minutes. To make things easy, use a spoon or a knife to scrape off the sticker. The baking soda helps scrub off all that leftover residue, and the oils break down the stickiness, and it smells good. Now that was a really tough sticker, but this stuff really works.
How to eat acorns. Step 1, put your acorns in water. Any of the ones that float are a bad nut, like that guy with the Willy Wonka TikTok. Make sure to throw any out with a hole in it, because that means an acorn weevil beat you to it, you goober. Oh guys, this one's already sprouting. I'm gonna plant him and grow a new tree. Next is the crackening. I hold it in place with a nutcracker, then smash it with a hammer. Success! Now I have to do this like 200 more times. When you take the nut meat out of the shell, try to get as much of the skin off as possible too. Put the nut meat into water to stop oxidation and to start leaching the tannins out. Also, it's tomorrow now. After a day, it'll look like this, and all that color is the tannins yeeting themselves from the acorns because it's water soluble. To speed up the leaching process, you can also grind them into a meal and pass water across it because exposed surface area. Then soak until they're not bitter anymore. White oaks take like a day. Red oaks take like 3 weeks. I used my ground acorns to stuff a pan bread and make lace cookies.
These are the most popular dog breeds in the U.S. Labrador Retriever, French Bulldog, German Shepherd, Golden Retriever, Bulldog.
Hey guys, it's Taylor, and today we're going to go over some frequency adverbs in Spanish. Sorry, it's pretty windy out here today. Okay, let's begin. Often, a menudo. At times, a veces. Sometimes, algunas veces. Hardly ever, casi nunca. Almost always, casi siempre. From time to time, de vez en cuando. Many times, muchas veces. While, mientras. Generally, por lo general. Every morning, todas las mañanas. Every year, todos los años. Every day, todos los días. Each day, cada día. Each night, cada noche. In the next video, I'll show you guys how to use some of these in sentences. Besitos!
If you're like me, then every so often you have a moment of, who am I? In each of those moments, I find it most helpful to speak to the inner child inside of me. Here are 3 questions to ask the inner child in you. 1, what would be really fun to do today? What can I do to make you happy? Does this feel good and true to you? While our adult, mature, practical self might have so many reasons to rationalize decisions that are not authentic, our inner child is honest.
Okay, you guys asked for this one, but basically after about 2 to 3 months in space, astronauts lose the calluses on their feet and they shed them off. And that's because astronauts don't walk in space and they hardly ever even wear shoes. So after a couple months, their body decides the calluses aren't needed. At that point, when you remove your sock in space, dead skin cells go flying, and that's a real photo. So astronauts actually take off their clothes near an air vent so that the dead skin cells can get stuck in the air filter. And then they vacuum that filter about once a week. What's really interesting is that while the bottoms of their feet become really soft, the tops of their feet become hardened because they have to hold on to foot rails. And then when astronauts return to Earth, they don't have calluses anymore. And so walking is extremely difficult and painful for many months.